Right, here I'm going to talk about web browsers or internet browsers or however you want to call them. Which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, or well, the worst and the best. So let's start with Internet Explorer. This is definitely the worst browser ever and no one should ever use it. First, why? I'm not going to just say it that it's worst, I'm going to explain why it's worse. First, the looks of it. I mean, compared to the other ones, that's Google Chrome. This is Opera, this one in here. And on the background, this one is older Firefox. I explain later why I have an older one. And then this one. I mean, look, it looks completely ridiculous. Now, if you go to like Google, first of it doesn't even seem to connect right now. I don't know why it's taking long. Maybe it's network lag. I don't know. Sure, this has this in here. That's the first thing. It just throws everything into your face like this. Then there is some protected mode. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why would I need to see this? I don't want to see this. Every time I go in there, it just pops up. Then it's another one in here. And basically it just has so many pop-ups. It's the looks is completely ridiculous. And the worst thing is that it absolutely spies on you. It logs everything you do, like all the keywords you put in here. It just remembers it. Even if you wipe the memory, the cache and stuff, it will still start remembering it. As far as I know, there is no option to actually turn everything off. So this is why I don't like this browser. And it also doesn't have extensions like all the other browsers have, like Opera, Firefox and Chrome. So this is the junk browser. I absolutely don't recommend that and you should never use it. This is just messing up your computer. It just gets all the data into your computer, all the spyware, all the toolbars like Bing bar and stuff like this. It just installs stuff automatically by just visiting websites, and it's not secure at all. And it also clogs up your computer with all the junk files that comes in without any permissions. So again, don't use it. Right. Next, we're gonna take the Mozilla Firefox. This used to be my favorite. Well, as you can see, it loaded up fine. It might have been network lag in Internet Explorer, but Internet Explorer is actually generally slow browser. I don't know why, but it's just slower than the other ones. But anyway, Firefox used to be my favorite because it has so many add-ons. Let's just open in my other monitor and just look at this. I have installed this stuff on my own. This doesn't come with it. Here we have a screen grab. You can make screenshots of the web page, either a selected area, the whole page, whatever you like. Selector, as you can see what it says in here. And you have options. I haven't blocked downloads, but everything else is blocked. It's a very good tool. You can surf the internet without actually having any data stored into your computer, which makes the browsing actually a lot faster and very safe. Tempo mail, this is extremely useful. You can just right click and create a temporary email, as we can see in here. I'm not gonna, actually I will just put some random address. This should be your address actually, like this. And once you click OK, it's gonna just take a second, and this is your new temporary email. If you send email in there, then it will end up in your inbox, the email you just entered in there. This is again very useful thing. If you want to like sign up on websites that you don't trust, you don't want spam and stuff. User agent switcher, that's also very good for testing purposes. There's also quick drag. You can like drag and drop stuff. Basically all these add-ons, it's very useful. Also an image zoom, which allows you to zoom in and zoom out on the images on the web page, which you can't do with any other browser. You just need the extension for it. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. Also Fox clocks, which shows you all the different times from world. Anything you want to show in there, you can disable, enable them. Of course, Firebug, extremely useful. I use this all the time. And few others in here. For example, Firebug looks like this. You can debug the website. You can get the image locations, as you can see in here. It's the image location. I use this to actually build websites and to modify them. It's very easy to find where the stuff is stored, like the images, colors, everything. It shows you on the right side style sheet, absolutely everything you need to know. So it's very useful. That's the Selector. If you want to disable it, you just click on it. So it's extremely easy. Just one click and you have it enabled or disabled. And also, if you go to YouTube, I have Flash disabled, which means if you click on some video, you can see it doesn't automatically play. And this is very important thing. You can enable it for all the browsers, but not just with one click. In Internet Explorer, you have to go into settings and do it the hard way. But in here, if you want to see the flash, you just click, and if I reload the page, it will automatically start playing, as you can see. So enable it again and reload the page, and it will be disabled again. I always keep this on because Flash just slows down the browsers, and you should always keep it disabled by default. You can just click on it and it will start playing. So this is why you need such extensions. Makes it a lot faster if the Flash doesn't start playing automatically. Sometimes if you go into some web page that has a lot of Flash in there, it just slows down the website and just lags out if you have the Flash enabled by default. There's also a proxy server selector. You can specify these. It's extremely useful. You just click and you select the proxy server, and then you will be using it. This is why I like Firefox. However, the new Firefox unfortunately is not as good as this one. Selector is no longer available, which is extremely good. And in general, Firefox have went down, so it's not so good anymore. And it also has Flash problems. If I close this, I think it's gonna crash. Yes, there we go. See, it crashes every time I close it. And the new Firefox, it just keeps popping up the Flash update, and it always messes up. It's not just on my computer. I've seen this on other people's computers, and I no longer recommend Firefox, so you should not be using that so much. At least I've had very bad experience with Firefox lately, and this is why I'm still using the old version. I'm just using it for websites and stuff. But yeah, anyway. Let's take Opera next. Opera is my primary browser actually. It has also a lot of extensions. I don't know why it's a bit sluggish right now. Maybe, yeah, it's just my website again. I don't know why it's the hosting company is sometimes messing up, but anyway, it's not important at the moment. I'm gonna go to YouTube, and it's the same thing. I have the Flash disabled by default. If I go in here, this video should start playing automatically, but again, see, you have this play arrow in here. The Flash is disabled. This you can do from the settings, from the Opera settings. Let's see, where is it? Preferences, I think. Advanced content, and there we go. Enable plugins only on demand. Again, it doesn't have it on one click, so this is a bad side. Maybe there's an extension for it, but I always keep it on demand, so I'm not going to change that, and I haven't checked for the extension, and that's why it's like that. But two of the extensions you should get is here, which is Coastery, and that's how you spell it, Coastery, and other one is Adblock Plus, or just Adblock. These are the two extensions I use all the time. And if I go into extensions in here, manage, here you can see what I'm using. This removes all the ads from the YouTube, so you won't see the adverts in the YouTube videos. And this also allows you to download the YouTube videos, and this shows the ratings for the videos before you actually click on the video. And basically this is very important, Coast Tree. You should definitely get this one. It's extremely good tool. It removes all the ads and stuff from the websites and the third-party content. It's very, very useful. I strongly recommend this. And Adblock is another thing. You should use this, so it doesn't give you these pop-ups and other crap like this. And I'm using also this one in here, as you can see. It's not so important, but these two are Coast Tree and Adblock is what I definitely recommend. And another one is of course this front page, which looks pretty cool. This is not actual extension on Chrome. This, I mean, in Opera it's normal, but in Chrome it's an extension. And this is why I like Opera, because the look is very nice. You can have all the web pages in here, like big buttons. I'm also using Leap Motion, which is extremely useful with these. If you don't know what Leap Motion is, just check in description. I will leave a link in there, so you know what it is. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's quite fast. Doesn't take up much memory, RAM, and it's generally good to use. And as you can see, I have disabled the automatic fill. If you don't know how to do that, this is the URL. That has nothing to do with the web browser. Instead of google.com, go to this web page. So I have added it in here. If I edit this, that's where it goes. I don't like this autofill that it shows me the options, so that's how it goes. And finally we move on to the Google Chrome, which has pretty nice look. This is extension, as I mentioned it. And again we have Coast Tree in here, the same thing as for the Opera. If you don't know how to get the extensions, by the way, just go to Google and do this. And there you go, first one. And same in Google Chrome. Just click on Google, go in here and put Chrome extensions. So you can see here Coast Tree just says that there is some new stuff, and we should select all and save. And there we go. And here is again extensions for Chrome. Just click on this and there we go. You can search for them, like Coast Tree. It's already installed, but it's very easy to install the extension from here. You just click on it and it's gonna just install it. You don't need to restart the browser or anything. Right. Another thing is history eraser tool, which looks like this. It erases all the traces, everything, all the cache or whatever you actually select. And it opens another monitor. As you can see, you can select what you want to delete. I always delete absolutely everything every time I close the browser. It's also set to delete everything if I close the browser from here, but I just do it manually anyway. And another one, of course, Adblock. These are the same extensions for the Chrome and Opera, Coast Tree and Adblock, as you can see. And these are definitely very important ones. Here's also Firebug for Chrome. Same thing as in Firefox. Basically these extensions are quite similar to each other, but not quite. Still the Firefox's Firebug is the best. Chrome one is not so good. And also here we have, which one was it? Opera has something called Dragonfly, which is not even half as good as Firebug, but it's similar, as you can see in here. You can go through the website and like if you click on this, it should find the image in here, this one in here. Testing. PNG image in here. So it's quite okay, but I just don't like it. I don't like the feel of this tool. It's not so good. The Dragonfly, I prefer Firebug. And back to here. If we go like to Google and test out this Firebug in here, this is Chrome's Firebug. As you can see, first it takes me to this page in here. Not the page, but the debug thing. It's pretty much the same as the Firebug, but I can't remember exactly. There were some issues with it I didn't like, but it's almost same as the Firefox. But still I prefer the Firefox, not the Chrome one. Nevertheless, it's quite a good tool, and I recommend this for especially for web developers and stuff like this. But one thing I don't like on Chrome, if I close this tab from here, the whole Google Chrome will close. I don't like this. I would like to close the tabs, but I'm not going to do this right now. But yeah, if I click this, the whole Chrome will close, like if I click in here. And again, on Google Chrome I have the same thing on. If I like click on the video, it doesn't automatically start playing. It's the same thing. For example, I would like to close this and go back to home. Like if I close all the tabs in here, it doesn't close, it just goes to the tab page. But I will show it anyway. If I click in here, see, the whole Chrome closes. I really don't like this. But yeah, it's still very good. And this extension in here, if you're wondering what this is, that's called a Fox tab. Let me show you what extensions I have in here. I don't even know where to get into the extensions. There we go, settings and extensions. And this is what I have currently, not so much. But again, Ghost Tree and Adblock are the ones you should definitely have. And History Eraser, well, I do recommend it, it's a pretty good tool. That is in case you don't want to keep any traces of your stuff in there, which I don't like to do. In case like, well, I don't have anyone else using the computer, but if you do have anyone else using your computer, you should always run this History Erase tool. This one, every time you leave your computer, you should run this. So you don't have any password saved, no cache, no content, no history, nothing in there. That's very good. Also clear download history, so other people can't see what you have been doing in there. Not that it really matters if you don't have anything to hide, but it's still, I like to keep the privacy. That other people don't see in which websites you have been, what you've been doing and stuff like this. And they don't see the downloaded files, they don't see your cookies. You can actually use the cookies to gain access to websites like Facebook. If you have Facebook account, they can use your cookie to log into your account. So it's not something you want other people doing. But yeah, so which one is the best browser? I don't honestly know. I really like Chrome and I really like Opera. But Google Chrome takes a ridiculous amount of RAM. It takes about 500 to 700 megabytes of RAM. I have 8 gigabytes at the moment, and I have another 8 gigabytes coming, so 16 in total. So I don't have any issues with RAM, but still 500 to 700 megabytes just for a web browser. It's a bit too much, you know. A lot of games doesn't even take that much. Nowadays games usually take 1 to 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is about well, 30 to 50% of what Chrome takes. So I mean, Chrome is 30 to 50% of what the games take. So that's quite a lot for a web browser compared to like Opera and other browsers, which take maybe to like 50 to 100 megabytes of RAM maximum. So if you're on a like laptop that has maybe 2 gigabytes RAM, then I don't really recommend Chrome. However, Chrome is a little bit faster. What I've heard is that if you start typing a name in here, like to google.com, it already loads the web page on the background. And if you click on the button, then it loads it faster, but I think I have disabled that. But if you install it as a default, then yeah, if you like start typing a name up here, it actually already loads the website on the background. So if you click enter, then it loads faster, as you saw with YouTube right now. It did actually load very fast. So if you actually type the name out, it's already loading the website. You don't even have to click enter. The enter is just to confirm that you really want to go to that website. So Google Chrome uses a lot of resources, a lot of bandwidth, just for nothing. And this is the bad side of it. But otherwise it's a good browser. I really do recommend it. However, again, all the browsers are quite crappy without the extensions. Extensions are the things that make the browser what they really should be. But yeah, I hope this helps. So you should get Ghostery and Adblock, and then Chrome and Opera are basically the same. I'm still using Opera as my primary browser because it's a little bit better, I'd say. Takes less memory, and Chrome tends to spy on you a little bit. It tends to store too much data and stuff like this, like cache data. This is why I have this tool in here, again this which I already showed. And Chrome should clear the whole history and everything. I have set it somewhere in the settings. Where was it? Well, basically it has a lot of stuff in here which you can go into advanced, like privacy settings, clear browsing data. There we go. Keep local data only until I quit my browser, which means it should delete all the cookies if I close it. And well, I'm not gonna go through all these, but basically what it should do is if I close the Google Chrome, it should delete all the data that is related to Google Chrome, but it doesn't delete everything. I know this because I have done some research on it. There's also a tool called CCleaner, which you can run to clean all the data, and I see that Google Chrome leaves a lot behind, which Opera doesn't do. So this is why I prefer Opera as my primary. But yeah, these are my primary choices. I'd say that Opera is the best browser out there right now. Then it's Google Chrome, then it's Firefox, and Internet Explorer is like way behind. There are also other browsers like Netscape and few more, but I'm not gonna cover these because those are just not worth mentioning. If I left something out that you like, then leave a comment and let's see what you think about it. So yeah, Chrome wins. At least that's my choice and my opinion, but well, to each their own.